Yeah, hi, dear aspirant. Today we are going to revise an important topic in our rapid revision series, that is the federalism. Now imagine India as a country with more than 145 crore of population, having 28 states, multiple languages, multiple culture, multiple identities. So how can we govern such a huge diversity without breaking the unity and integrity of the nation? The answer lies in a single keyword, that is federalism. So you need to remember that India is not a pure federalism like the USA. India is not a classical federalism like a USA. Neither. It is fully unitary. Then, what kind of federal structure India have? So the Constitution of India has created a unique hybrid model. KCVRA famously called India as a quasi-federal state with a strong center. Means the more power it is lying with the central government. Now, when we talk about the federalism means division of power between different level of the government. So, be it union government, state government, or after 73rd and 74th Amendment, you have a local tier of governance. In India, all these tiers of the government they derive its authority from the constitution. Majorly, the union and state they derive their authority from the seventh schedule of Indian Constitution. The key idea behind this particular concept of quasi-federalism is that no level is subordinate constitutionally. Only the thing is that the power has got distributed. Now, what are the federal features of our Indian Constitution? Number one, the written Constitution. India has the longest written Constitution wherein the powers have been defined very clearly. As you can see, under the 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, wherein 100 power has been entrusted to the center, around 62 to the state. Second important feature is the supremacy of the Constitution. Both the central government as well as the state government are bounded by that supreme book, that is the Constitution. Third, the division of power. Article 246 of Indian Constitution creates three lists, like Union list, center list, and concurrent list. So the Union list, it consists of the powers like defense, foreign affairs, etc. The state list, it consists of powers like police, public order, and likewise. While the concurrent list consists of the powers like education, forest, weight and measures, and so on and so forth. So this is the division of power. The fourth important feature of the federal structure is the rigid constitution. In India, few amendment requires even the ratification from half of the state. Example, the federal provisions like the GST restructuring and structuring, election of the President of India, Supreme Court structure, likewise. The fifth important and major feature of the federal structure is the independent judiciary. Regarding that, many times in the prelims, a question have got asked. Being the apex court, the Supreme Court resolve the disputes between the center and the state, and between the center and the center. As per the spirit of original jurisdiction enshrined under Article 131 of Indian Constitution. For an example, in the state of West Bengal versus Union of India, the court held that the states cannot challenge the parliamentary sovereignty on legislative competence ground beyond the constitutional limit. So, in this manner, the Supreme Court had talked about the various devolution and distinction of power. The next is the unitary features, reflection of unitary features in our Indian Constitution. So, as I have told to you, Indian federalism is tilted little toward the center. So, the very first feature is the strong center. So, as I told to you, the union list is having approximately 100 subjects in power, which shows the strong center. Then the second is the residuary power. As per Article 248, the residuary power it is lying with the union government, unlike in the United States, wherein the residuary power it lies with other states. We have adopted the Canadian model here. The third unitary features which we have is the emergency provision. So we have Article 352, 356, 360 respectively with respect to national emergencies, state emergency, and financial emergencies. So during the time of emergency, our Indian federal structure becomes a unitary in nature. So Article 352, 356 and 360, they are very, very critical with respect to prelims and mains examination. The fourth important unitary feature is the system of governor. So the governor is appointed by the President of India. He is not elected, rather appointed. The governor acts as an agent of the central government. And sometimes, because of his biased nature, it often creates the center-state tensions. Like recently we have seen the issues with respect to the tussle between Mr. R. N. Ravi and state of Tamil Nadu. Ananda Basu versus state of West Bengal. The fifth important feature, unitary feature, is cooperative federalism. So modern Indian governance, it emphasizes cooperation between the various entities under the federal structure, that is between center and the state. The very best example for this cooperation is Niti Aayog, which is the executive body, then interstate council under Article 262 of Indian Constitution, then the GST Council under Article 279A. So that is a structure which we have created or envisaged in order to create a unitary kind of character within this quasi-federal structure. Then the next unitary feature is competitive federalism. The states, they compete with each other to refine their competence, their capacity, their capability. Like we have SDG India Index, we have Health Index, we have Education Index, wherein the states are trying to improvise themselves in all those parameters. One more example is ease of doing business in India, wherein the states, they are trying to refine themselves with respect to manufacturing capability, investment capability, and so on. The seventh important unitary feature is the fiscal federalism. The fiscal relations, it defines who collects the money and who spends it. So when we talk about the unitary biasness in this regard, we have an organization, constitutional organization like Finance Commission of India, enshrined under Article 280. Thus, constitutional body, it recommends the tax devolution. It recommends what kind of grants would be given to the states. So it plays a very pivotal role, and that's why it is one of the bulwark of Indian Constitution. For an example, the 15th Finance Commission, it increased focus with respect to the health, with respect to your local bodies, with respect to the disaster management in an integrated manner all across the India. So that is one of the major character of quasi-federal structure in India. Now, when we talk about the judicial intervention with respect to federalism, we do have certain landmark cases related with it. So the very famous is S.R. Bommai, who was the erstwhile Karnataka Chief Minister versus Union of India, the case of 1994, in which the Supreme Court talked about the misuse with respect to usage of Article 356. And in this S.R. Bommai case, the Supreme Court had held that federalism is a part of basic structure doctrine, and even the presidential rules can be judicial reviewed with respect to malified intention, arbitrary decision, and likewise. The second important case with respect to federal structure is Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala, wherein the basic structure principle has been established and federalism has been declared as one of the basic feature of the basic structure doctrine. The third landmark judgment is 2018 judgment of Government of NCT of Delhi versus Union of India, wherein the Supreme Court had defined the power distribution between the Delhi Union Territory and the Lieutenant Governor, like majority of the power had been given to the Delhi Union Territory government. Now, one major question which the UPSC majorly asks in the mains examination and even in the prelims are the challenges with respect to our federal structure. Like the first, the tension between the governor and the state government. Like recently we have seen Mr. Muhammad Arif versus state of Kerala, Banwarilal Purohitji versus state of Punjab, Ananda Mohana Basu versus state of West Bengal. So this kind of tensions used to cripple South. Second is the fiscal centralization. State, they do argue that the GST kind of centralized tax have reduced their tax autonomy. The cess and surcharges put by the central government, they reduces their shareable taxes. So in this way, some way or other, the taxation power has been snatched away from the state government. Third challenge is the regionalism. Strong regional parties, it influences the federal dynamics, means they try to consolidate the power up to that particular region. Fourth is the interstate disputes, like interstate water dispute, interstate river dispute, like Kaveri river dispute, between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Krishna River water dispute. Likewise, apart from this, the interstate border disputes like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and so on. Now, looking toward all this particular thing, how we can see the future of Indian federalism. The future of Indian federalism is very bright because it is a collaboration of the cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, and a fight toward giving power to the entities enshrined under this federal structure. Even you can see under 73rd and 74th Amendment, this federalism have been made dynamic in the form that it has entrusted the power even up to the local tier of governance, that is Jila Panchayat, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, likewise. So Indian federalism is a greatest asset. It is very flexible. It balances unity with diversity. Also at the same time, it provides central authority with regional autonomy. So, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, the Constitution of India, even though it's federal in structure, but it is unitary in spirit, as and when it is necessary. So, please do remember, India is the best example of the quasi-federal structure. And India has a great chance to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047 if we would be able to cherish this quasi-federal spirit in most effective manner. So that is regarding the federalism and its all aspects which are necessary for you with respect to the prelims and mains examination in the form of rapid and fast test revision. Thank you so much.